So the hardest part about this piece wasn't the hair or the shadows. It was trying to represent eternity, translate the color blue and immense power, using only black and white values. Yeah, his eyes. You tell me, did it work? So we always had to sacrifice something, whether it's time, health, or in this case, convenience. I discovered this paper to be the best for my style, but it never properly straightens up. So I always end up using ridiculous solutions like fixing it down with dumbbell plates in some kind of crucified position, but at least it loosens up a bit, making it easier to work with. Some of you may ask, why not just use water? Well, I don't really like that technique and it would probably damage the paper. We definitely don't want that. You know, usually I'm more decisive, but this one gave me a hard time choosing between the closed or slightly open mouth. Yesterday, I was literally torturing my eyes staring at the screen, trying to figure out which version worked best, so people wouldn't absolutely destroy me in the comments. But now, I see it clearly. We definitely don't want Kakashi's lips from episode 101. Who knows, knows. Okay, let me show you my ultra super definitely not boring process of creating references people usually like more than hate. With sorrow in my heart because Sora shut down, we had to go back to stable diffusion low res generations. But did that ever stop us? Of course not. So I generated 2600 images, and yes, this is the amount I usually need to feel confident that I squeezed absolutely everything possible out of that prompt. Then I refined and upscaled it with my fellow friend ChatGPT. By the way, last update really works well. Then added a little Photoshop retouching and voila, the reference is ready. You know, the paper actually straightened up pretty well. But of course, I had to leave it fixed like this for more than a week specifically for this video. I should probably start doing this with every sheet, because usually I leave it for only 24 hours, which is obviously not enough. Now it's time to transfer the reference onto the paper. For this, I'll be using the legendary Vermeer technique, camera obscura, and done. The drawing part is not always the most enjoyable, at least not until you finally feel like you got the face and emotions right. Until then, for me personally, the whole process feels a little vague and anxious. But anyway, I found a way to make it enjoyable. I watch a lot of movies while drawing, especially horror movies, my favorite ones. So now whenever I think about the drawing process, I'm like, oh yeah, movie time. And by the way, this is actually how I watched Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. I actually finished it only a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. Now I finally understand why Satoru Gojo completely stole the whole show. His enigmatic character, sky-like eyes, and funny attitude make him really special. He's definitely one of those characters I want to draw more than once. During the drawing process, I realized the paper's white value simply wasn't enough to give the eyes that feeling of power. So I decided to use a white gel pencil. Usually I use it very carefully, only for tiny highlights. But for Gojo, I was going full power, fully aware that it actually could destroy the paper, and force me to restart the entire drawing from zero. At that point, there was really no going back anymore. But honestly, I think it worked really well. And with that confidence, I went straight into the hair and started spamming white gel there too, because the hair also needed that extra push. You tell me, did it work? And after around 27 hours, the drawing is finally done.